It's okay. Great. If you like, you can light candles. Yes. Yes, you can light. This practice. Yes. Right. So everyone, please smile and say 3 times. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Good evening to everyone. I would like to do the same wish that we do at the beginning of every session. May all of you have a very good session today too. May this meditation practice be helpful for you to develop further in your practice, in your Dhamma path, and at the same time, may you be able to develop a lot of peace and a lot of happiness with it. Dear Dhamma friends, so today I promised all students that I will teach the second step of loving kindness meditation. We were practicing loving kindness meditation first step, and now we are going to practice the second step of loving kindness meditation. But the newcomers, new meditators, they will be instructed to practice the basic practice of loving kindness meditation. I'll teach that too, so don't worry. The simple one is, it's easy. What you do is, you spread your genuine loving kindness. Your genuine loving kindness towards yourself first. Thinking, may I be well, may I be happy, may I be peaceful, right? Then after that, you spread your loving kindness towards your dear parents. Thinking, may my dear mom, may my dear dad be well, be happy, be peaceful. And then after that, you spread your loving kindness towards your teachers, towards your relatives, towards your friends, right? So first towards yourself, then towards your parents, and then towards your teachers, then towards your relatives, and then towards your friends. And after that, you think of the people who are in the middle. That means the neutral people. There are certain people in our lives who are not our friends, at the same time who are not our enemies. So we focus on those people. And you think, may the neutral people be well, be happy, be peaceful. And then the enemies. May the enemies also be well, be happy, be peaceful. Right? Then finally, you think of may all the beings be well, be happy, be peaceful. That is for the beginners who joined recently, who are starting loving kindness meditation today. Right? The old students, they are, as I mentioned, I am going to teach you the second method of loving kindness meditation. In this method, you can use the very same wishes, right? Very same sentences that we used during the last step, but the beings, we are not going to discriminate on them, thinking them as human beings, animals, like that. We are going to focus on all the beings. This is hard. So first you are going to think about all the beings. So according to the directions that they live. First you think, may all the beings in the north direction. May all the beings in the north direction be well, be happy, be peaceful. So you had used the traditional sentences. May all the beings in the north direction be free from anger and hatred, ill will and jealousy. Right? Then may they be able to live well. And then after that, may they be free from mental suffering. May they be free from physical suffering. Like that, the very same sentences that we used during the first method, we have to apply them in the second method too. But here, we are not going to discriminate beings as this is myself, these are my parents, relatives, teachers, friends, like that. So we just focus on beings. So may the beings in the north direction, for an example, be well, be happy, be peaceful. And then beings in the south direction, be well, be happy, be peaceful. Then beings in the east direction, be well, be happy, be peaceful. And then after that, beings in the west direction, be well, be happy, be peaceful. And then beings above me, be well, be happy, be peaceful. Beings below me, be well, be happy, be peaceful. That's how you have to think, and without discriminating any being because of their beauty, because of their abilities, because of their appearances, because of the categories that they belong to, without discriminating them as tiny or big. You give your entire loving kindness, you share your entire loving kindness with those beings in that particular direction. So beings in the north, beings in the south, beings in the east, and beings in the west, and beings above me, and beings below. And finally, you think, you share your merits with all the beings, thinking, may all the beings be well, be happy, be peaceful. Right? So then at that time, your loving kindness should radiate all the directions. Then when you come to a good level, when you practice this meditation technique, second method, when you come to good level, you'll feel like you are soaked. Your whole body is soaked with loving kindness. Your whole mind is soaked with loving kindness. And then when you develop it to a higher level, then you'll feel like the loving kindness is pouring all around your body and mind, right? So please develop, but don't haste to reach those levels. Just keep on doing as you are doing, and keep practicing, right? When the right time comes, when your tolerance, when your concentration, when your inner peace, when all those things develop to a good level, then you are bound to reach that level. Until then, please work patiently and continuously. Patiently and continuously. At the same time, now this is a good time for the advanced meditators or students. This is a good time to check your level of loving kindness. Whenever you see people, check whether you discriminate them. So when at the gathering, there are two people. One person is well dressed, one person is not well dressed. Right? One person is beautiful, according to the conventional truth, and one person is not beautiful. When you look at them, you have to check yourself whether you discriminate, whether you develop the thoughts of discrimination towards any of them. So if you have a good level of equanimity, good level of balance of mind, good level of compassion towards both of them, you are succeeding. Right? Please try to do that and see. That is for advanced students. Then at the same time, please start mixing your loving kindness in day-to-day activities, and start practicing the actions of loving kindness as you can. There are 3 actions of loving kindness that you can practice: physical actions, vocal actions, mental actions. What are the actions of physical actions of loving kindness? So let me teach you fast. There are certain people who can't clean their clothes. Maybe your parents if they are old, and then maybe your relatives, or someone who is weak or sick. At such times, out of loving kindness, you have to see that opportunity as an opportunity of loving kindness. You have to wash those things, right? Wash them and help them, right? That's an action of loving kindness. If you see a sick person, it doesn't matter whether you know that person or not. If that person needs help, you run and you help as you can. That person doesn't know a good doctor, you introduce that person to a good doctor. Take that person to a good doctor. If that person needs medication, you provide, if you can, you provide medication. And like that. If that person needs attendance, whenever you can, you volunteer. Right? Like that. And then helping accordingly to old people, weak people, and helpless people. Right? Those actions of physical actions of loving kindness. There are more. Building, helping the religious people, and helping temples and hospitals, schools, such kind of places, and building them. Right? And then when there is a wedding or a funeral, at same time helping them by organizing it. They need any help in organizing it. Um, you offer your physical help, you offer your time and effort. So these are physical actions of loving kindness. That is the first kind of actions that you need to practice in your life. So as actions of loving kindness. Then actions of vocal actions of loving kindness. That's number 2. How do you do that? Whoever that you meet in your life, and whoever at your presence, you talk respectfully, giving them respect, and in a way that you can make their mind happy. Right? You have to understand. So what by speaking, what kind of things will this person be happy? But it should not be things about all kinds of gossips. So it should be something nice, right? And informative and beneficial, right? You talk about that because that person is also interested. And when that person talks about those things, that person feels happiness, right? And then at the same time, when those people now are not in your presence, at that time too, you have to speak respectfully about those people. It doesn't matter. So there are certain people at the presence, they speak just like they want to give you their own life. But when that person is not around, they use various kinds of ugly words to talk about those people. No, that's not a vocal action of loving kindness at the presence of that person. And whenever that person is not around to you have to speak respectfully and in a way when that person hear about your conversation, that person feels happiness, right? And then uh, uh, the dharma that you know, uh, out of loving kindness, you have to share with the other people with the wish that may this person be able to understand this and practice it and gain success, peace, and prosperity and happiness in life. Uh, that's another vocal action of loving kindness. Whenever you see someone's good qualities, you have to praise. You should not hesitate. You have to praise. That's a good thing. You did the good thing. You should not hesitate. And you should not hide such kind of good qualities. Instead, you should appreciate that good quality. And then uh, there are certain good people, there are certain bad people. So you introduce them. So don't go to this person. This person has the tendency of deceiving. So be careful. Not out of hatred, out of loving kindness, right? Then whenever there is a good person, this is a good doctor, right? This is a good teacher. Go, right? And listen to that person. You will change, right? You will have a lot of good things to learn. So then in introduction by words. And then when there are people are in conflicts, you talk to them in a way that you can create unity among them, in a way that they can reconcile. Getting rid of that conflict, right? Then poor people, you have talked to them in a motivational manner to motivate them so that they can grow in life, right? And consoling sick people, old people, and such other people by words. And then encouraging the people who do good things and discouraging the people who do bad things and showing them the right track. These are the actions of vocal actions of loving kindness. Right? Now you are not small babies in loving kindness. You have practiced the first method, and you have been practicing the simple loving kindness meditation for a long time. So now you know, right? Now you can practice these things. And third action of loving kindness is the mental action of loving kindness. Whenever you see a person, give a look at that person with pleasantness. Give that person a pleasant look. Don't act. Give a genuine pleasant look. Right? May this person see my pleasant look and be happy with that thought. Right? And then giving a smile. So not a fake smile. Wholeheartedly you smile. Can you smile like that right now? You give a nice smile, right? Wholehearted. Or you'll do it at Bante, but whenever you meet the enemy, you are not going to do that. So you have practice, right? So you have practice, and whenever you meet anybody, regardless of that person's nature, you smile. You give a smile, right? And well-wishing internally, internal well-wishing. Whenever you hear, maybe that person is not around, but you hear that someone is going to do a good thing, right? Then you wish by mind. By mind, you wish that may that good wish of that particular person become fruitful. Right? I told you about that tuk-tuk driver and how he practiced loving kindness. This is not time to describe that story. So whenever you hear the sound of an ambulance, you can think, may that patient, we don't know whether there's a patient, but somehow you can think, may that patient be well and feel ease, recover soon. So then spreading loving kindness. Whenever you are at a place or are waiting for someone, you don't have to keep your eyes closed, but by mind, you spread loving kindness towards all the people in that building or in that area. So at that place, you spread your loving kindness. So not only advanced students, even the beginners, they can start. You can do this, but somehow please start to do these kinds of actions as you can. Then not only you develop this enormous loving kindness within, you start to keep it in action. So please start it, right? Now we are going to start with that understanding. We are going to start today's silent meditation session. Everyone, please keep your back straight, neck straight, head straight. Please keep your right palm on your left palm. Take a deep breath. Please close your eyes and take a deep breath. Let it go. Take another deep breath. Let it go. Now please calm down. Now I pay our respect to the Buddha and respect and gratitude to the Buddha. And after that, we are going to start today's silent meditation time. Please concentrate, calm down. Namo tase bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhase. Namo tase bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhase. Namo tase bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhase. Itimeso bhagava arehang samma sambuddho Vijacharana sampanno sugato lokamido Anuttaro purisa dhamma sarati Sattadeva manusanam Buddho bhagavati Swakato bhagavata dhammo Sannittiko akaliko Ehi passiko opanaiko Paccatang veditabbo Vinyuhiti Supanipanno bhagavato savaka sangho Ujupanipanno bhagavato savaka sangho Iyatidang chattari purisa yugani Ate purisa puggala Ese bhagavato savaka sangho Ahuneyo pahuneyo Nakineyo anjali karaniyo Anuttarang punyakhitam lokasati Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. With a very calm mind, with a very quiet mind, with an alert, very attentive mind, with a balanced, very equanimous mind. Everyone, please start your meditation. If you are a beginner, please practice the basic loving kindness meditation technique. If you are an old student, please keep practicing the second method of loving kindness meditation. Whatever the meditation technique that you are practicing, may your meditation be very, very successful. Very, very successful. Everyone, please start your meditation right now. Vahetu sampe mangelam Rakhantu sampe divata Samme buddhanubhavine Samme dhammanubhavine Samme sanghanubhavine Sada sutti bhavantuti. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Now everyone, please calmly and quietly open your eyes. Let your whole body to relax from top to bottom, bottom to top. Let your whole body to relax. Now everyone, please join your palms together and say 3 times, Sadhu, Sadhu, Sadhu. Dear dumb friends, before we start, I have an acknowledgement to do. Next Friday, I won't be able to do the meditation because I have the counseling and Buddhist studies in my exam on Friday night. So after studying for 1 year, the last 3 Fridays, I have the exam. So I won't be able to do the meditation on next Fridays, but still, um, um, we are trying to figure out whether we'll do it instead. Whether we'll do it on Thursday or Saturday night. What do you think? Saturday night is good, right? Let's see. Let's see. There is no any difference in. So I have given you certain timelines for your appointments, so they are not affected, right? They are not affected. You can count on those particular times. Just the meditation, it will get affected because I have one paper right at that time. So then we'll do it either on Thursday evening or Saturday evening. Same time, 8:30 to 9:45, right? I will acknowledge you and I will text you and let you, right? Hopefully I have all the uh, all the uh, all the details. I think email addresses, and then I have your phone numbers too. If you any of you haven't given me your phone number or email, please let me know. Online students too, please write it down and on the chat box so that I will let you to our email list. Then Don't think it's sad news. Sometimes you have to go with the flow, right? Then you have to adjust. I told you, everything is impermanent. That means even the Friday meditation is impermanent too. Sometimes you have to adjust according to the situation, right, now here, right? So let's adjust that one. I was teaching you about the 10 perfections. Today I'm going to teach you about the last two, but I'm going to skip one. Why? I was talking about this for all these 2 months. What is that? Metta, loving kindness. So at the beginning of every session, I talk something about loving kindness. So all the descriptions are given. So 9th perfection is loving kindness, metta. Metta. Please practice that one as a perfection too. I told you about 9 perfections then. What is the first one? Dana. Very nice. Generosity. You have develop generosity inside as perfection. Pardon. Second one, morality. Shila. Very nice. I'm proud of you. You still remember that. Right? Shila is morality. Third one, letting go. Nekam. Right? Letting go. Then number 4, Mr.
Yeah.
Huai,
Panya, wisdom.
wisdom. Very nice. Fifth one, Mrs. Lee's, Christian, courage. Okay, courage. Miss Kim, sixth one, can you remember? Right. Okay, then sixth one is
Patience.
patience. Right. Seventh one is, can you remember? I taught one in the previous, truthfulness. Very nice. Then next one, determination. The 9th one is loving kindness. Today I'm going to teach you about the 10th perfection. Among all these 10, this is the hardest one. Among all the 10 perfections, this is the hardest one. Upekha Parami, the perfection of equanimity. Equanimity. In simple words, developing the middle mind, balanced mind. What is equanimity? What do you think? You have heard of the word equanimity, right, Ramgaru? You don't know what is equanimity? Right. Middle mind, okay, right. The same answer that I gave, right? Equanimity means, let's say someone does good things towards you, another person does bad things towards you. You don't develop hatred towards the person who is doing bad things towards you. At the same time, you don't develop attachment towards the person who is doing good for you. It doesn't mean you don't have loving kindness, but still you develop your mind to a level of non-attachment. Non-attachment. Things happen in your life. I mean, sometimes you gain things, sometimes you lose things. Sometimes you get praised, sometimes you get blamed. At all such kind of times, you keep your middle mind. Can you understand? You stay balanced. You are not overjoyed, at the same time over sad, right? So instead of being sad, being joy, you see at it as it is and say, is that so? let me welcome. Whatever it happens, you welcome with the middle mind. This is the hardest one, the commando course, the marine, the commando course. So it's not easy to practice this, right? But when you practice the other perfections, this one helps. We have it inside us to a certain amount. Therefore, it helps us when we practice the other practices. When you give dana, sometimes people come and tell this and that, right? But still, and the mind also comes and attacks you, saying, oh, don't give. You can keep it and you can use it for something for yourself. Don't practice generosity. But still, since you have some sort of little bit of equanimity, you stay still, you stand still, and you give. When you practice sila too, moral qualities, so you develop enormous amount of aversion towards someone, and it asks you to kill. But with wisdom, you understand about that situation, and then after that, you understand it's a bad action, and with the help of this equanimity, tiny bit of equanimity that you have, with the right decision, you stand still. You don't harm, right? When it comes to stealing, sexual misconduct, lying, in all those things, this equanimity helps. But what we have is a very tiny dose, but it helps. That's why you are not. That's why there is a difference between you and the people in the jail, right? So so you have to be thankful for your equanimity, and there is another one, patience. So these two helps you, and in practicing all the other 8, they help. And so if you live your life up to a certain balance level, right? If you have a certain amount of emotional balance inside you, that's because of this equanimity, right? So you have to be thankful, and being thankful, you have to develop. You have to develop it. You have to develop this perfection inside you, this part of equanimity. But it's hard. Equanimity, equanimity, as I mentioned, the nature of our mind is to attach. Let's say whenever someone says nice things towards you, what is your nature? You attach to that person. Even though we don't know inside that person what the real intention, but we are used to say, oh, such kind of a nice person, such kind of a kind person, like that we say, right? And whenever someone blames at you, you develop anger. Oh, that person is mean, that person is bad, right? Even the children sometimes say that to parents, right? You are mean, you're bad, like that. Why? So because of this, you like, when you get what you want, what you the things that you like, then you like that source. But whenever you don't get what you like, then you don't like that source, even though it stands for your own well-being, right? Then this is the nature. But as human beings, we have to understand that we have to understand things in a deeper level, at a deeper level. And we should, just like in Vipassana meditation, we should develop our ability to a level that you can see things penetrating the appearance level. right? So instead of seeing near, you should be able to see far. This is one nature which will help you to develop the balance of mind. Right? You should have the penetrating wisdom. You don't see the close by thing. You see through that. Can you understand what I say? Can you understand? You see through it. Then it helps you to develop the balance of your mind. For an example, you eat food. When someone cooks food, you eat food, and sometimes you are used to criticize. You are used to criticize. This food is not good. I don't like it. I hate it. So when someone is one of maybe your wife, if she is going to cook something, you will say sometime, you please cook anything but not that particular food. Do you have such kind of experiences? Right. Now it is the time to practice equanimity. So you can go home, and even though she cooks that food, start eating that one and say that Bhante told you to practice equanimity. Right. Just kidding. So, right. Somehow, for the taste, this is an example. For the taste, you have attachment and detachment. Better to now you are practicing the ability to see through. And with the penetrating wisdom, you have to understand you don't live to eat. You eat to live, right? It doesn't matter whatever the food it is, whatever the taste it is, if it is a nutritious food, if it helps you to survive, and if it is not poison, that's it. Whatever you cook, you eat without telling anything, right? Keeping your mind at the ambition, so purpose, you eat, right? So then it helps you to practice equanimity, right? Without considering the taste, whatever taste it is, let it be tasty or not tasty, but still you eat it with a balanced mind, not generating anger, right? Keeping the purpose in your mind. Why am I eating? Right? Then all the other negativities that come, you suppress them, and you, with the focusing on the purpose, you eat. Then you develop your equanimity. And wearing clothes. Sometimes you go to parties and you dress the best way that you can. Then there is men compare with the men, and then ladies compare with ladies. Then you look around and you see someone who is more well dressed than you. Then what do you do? You develop jealousy. Why? When you compare that person with you, you feel like you are lower than that person. So that happens because of the craving. Now you develop penetrating wisdom. And what you should do is, you have to keep the purpose in the mind. What is the purpose of wearing clothes? So, to cover yourself. To cover yourself from what? From insects. If you don't cover yourself, then mosquitoes and all the other insects, they will come and start biting you, right? So you cover yourself. Why? To prevent the difficulties that you have to face because of insects. So various kinds of insect bites. Then why do you wear your clothes? There's wind, there's heat, there is coldness, and there are some kind of temperature changes. Accordingly, you wear clothes. Then to cover your shame, right? You wear clothes. That is the purpose of wearing clothes. It doesn't mean don't wear beautiful clothes. Wear the best clothes that you can, but practice equanimity inside. Right? So without comparing, you accept them as they are. Whatever they wear, even though they are poorly dressed or nicely dressed, that's fine. You accept the being as being. You don't compare, right? You try not to attach to one person and not to detach from one person, right? You accept them as they are. If they are wearing something, that's it, right? If they don't have, you give, right? Then, right, in food wise, in cloth wise, you have to practice. Then vehicles, you look, let's say you go by a general car and you see a Tesla, then you should not think, oh, if I had a Tesla. So you should not think like that and develop jealousy. If you can buy, you buy. That's a different case. But developing jealousy towards the other people's stuff, that's not good. Instead, you have to practice equanimity. And you have to be happy that this person has a car. What is the purpose of a car? Right? So to move. Wherever you want to go, you want to go. Right? Buy the best kind if you can. Right? Without so lending money from someone, if you can buy the best car in the world, buy it. By mind, develop equity. When you go on the road, you will see houses, right? When you see houses, don't compare your house with the other people's houses. Instead, be happy with what you have, right? Try to improve, right? Try to improve in your life, but it doesn't mean you should be jealous about the other people's stuff. Right? Develop the balance of mind, equality. Then things come in life. I told you that there are 8 vicissitudes that you have to face in your life. What are the 8 vicissitudes? Is there anyone who can remember? Mr. Howard, can you remember?
I do not remember, Bhante.
Right. Then everybody won't remember. Let me remind you. But keep in mind, even though you don't remember, these things are bound to come. It doesn't mean they won't come. Number 1, labh, advantages. You gain things in life, right? You gain things. And then you lose things too. Gains and losses. They're bound to happen. Then sometimes you gain prosperity. Sometimes you lose prosperity. Prosperity means here just like fame, right? Then you gain such kind of things. You become prosperous and you become famous. And sometimes you get defeat. Labh, alabh, in those days language, Pali, yasa, ayasa. Then sometimes you are praised, sometimes you are ridiculed, right? You are scolded. Then sometimes you feel comfort, sometimes you feel discomfort. These are the 8 vicissitudes of your life. Even though you learn these and keep in mind or not, you have to face them. There is no one in this world, even the highest beings in this world, they have to face. There is no one who can escape. Whenever they come, that is the hardest point, right? So they are the hardest points of keeping the mind balanced and equanimous. Then at such times, how do you practice yourself to keep the mind balanced? You have to understand. Whenever those conditions arise, you have to realize these things arose, but they are not eternal. It doesn't mean you don't feel contented when those things happen, right? When good things happen, you feel contented. And whenever things go wrong, you realize. But instead of developing overjoy and sadness, you try to keep your mind balanced and equanimous. Everything is changing. Let's see how long this would last. You gain something, but you are bound to lose it anytime. There is that nature. Understanding that you live your life, right? You get a nice Rolex watch. And you look at it, it's a very, I don't know how much it is, says everybody say Rolex watch, it is the greatest one. So I assume that it is the best one, but unfortunately, Bhaktis don't wear watches. So let's say, just kidding. So let's say you get a Rolex watch, and now you are happy. You got one of the most expensive watches in the world, right? But you have to understand, while you are wearing, so instead of showing off to the other people, you have to understand the purpose. Even though it's a Rolex watch or very cheap Chinese watch, it doesn't matter. What you need is you want to notice the time. That's it. That's the final thing, right? All the other things, they are conventional things, right? That people created in their heads. Then when it breaks, so it has a time of breaking. When it is broken, you don't feel sad. Why? When it was with you, you live with the understanding that this is breakable and it is bound to be broken anytime. When it was broken, still you stay calm. Why? You knew that it would break, so it broke. Did you understand? Right. So like that, you have developed the equanimity inside your mind. It doesn't matter you gain or loss. It doesn't matter. So you get fame, you become famous or not become famous, even though you are praised or scolded, even though when you gain comfort and gain discomfort, all such kind of times, you try to keep the balance of mind, equanimity. Buddha developed this to the utmost level, and that quality is called as Tadi Guna, the unshakable quality. Whatever it happens, Buddha doesn't shake. Let me teach you about the Bhante, because every day I'll teach you a story, and this will help you to understand this nature deep, right? Once in Japan, there was one. So some old students might know this story. So there was one fishing village. In this fishing village, there was this village headman. He had a daughter, a beautiful daughter. And this daughter had an affair with the poor fisherman, young fisherman in the fishing market. And at the very close by temple, there was one Bante, Japanese Bante, who was the teacher of the king. At that time, his name was Bante Sinyo. Then, because of that affair, then this Bante was very virtuous Bante, and instead of living in the city, he could live lavishly inside the city because he was the teacher of the Japanese king. But he gave up all those things and came to practice inside this fishing village because it was a rural area and there was a peaceful environment for him to practice. Nobody knew his name and fame, all those things. So it was easy. Then, because of that affair, the daughter of that headman, he was about to deliver a child. She was pregnant. Whenever the headman knew about this, he couldn't control his anger. Right? Actually, that's not anger, it's fury. Then, out of fury, he caught his daughter by her hair and shook her and threatened her to reveal about the person who did this to her. And he said, "Tell me the person's name who did this to you. Tomorrow I'll go with my fish cutting knife and I will slice it into pieces, just like I cut fish." The daughter was so scared, and so then she tried to find someone's name, that even though she revealed that person's name, so that his father won't harm. In that whole area, there was only one person. That was poor Bante Sinyo. She told, the father of the child is Bante Sinyo. Then the headman, he took the daughter and dragged her all the way to the temple and shouted at the Bante. At that time, Bante Sinyo was meditating. He shouted at the Bante. Actually, not shouted, he cried as highly as he could. See, the bald-headed, yellow-robed man, you sit here just like a saint, but can you see the thing that you have done? So you have made my daughter pregnant. Since you are a monk, I'm going to spare you. If not, I would have cut you. I would have sliced you into pieces just like I slice fish. But I spare you, but I will give you a punishment. I will keep my daughter inside your temple. You have to feed her and you have to take care of her and the baby all by yourself. Then Bante looked at the fisherman very calmly, the village headman very calmly, and right away with his wisdom, he had the penetrating wisdom. He understood what might have happened right away. He didn't get angry. He didn't resist even. He took the wisest decision and said, just a few words, 3 words. Is that so? That's it. Is that so? Then when he said those 3 words, the village headman, he was so angry and frowned at him just like to kill him. But since he is a monk, he cannot do anything. He let the daughter to stay at the temple and he went to his home with a very hateful mind. Then it's a village. The rumor spread just like wildfire. Everybody got to know about the incident. Instead of few people, many others believed the rumor. and they stopped giving dana. They stopped giving dana to the temple in Japan. But then, so to find something for the mother and the baby to eat, right, and so stay with good health. The Bhante in Japan, Bhantes can work. So Bhante started working at other people's houses. Then with that, with with the money that he collected by all those professions, he started nourishing the girl and the baby who is going to come. Then after several months, she gave birth to the baby, and Bhante was taking care of the mother and the child first. The girl, she was so moved by Bhante's actions. Later on, she felt so sad. She went to the father of that child, her fiance, and told, "Darling, I think we have done a massive damage, unforgivable damage to this great Dhamma teacher. Right now, I can't let him suffer anymore. He's already suffering. I should go back. Let's go back to our father. Let him kill us. Let him slice us into pieces with his fish cutting knife, just like he cut fish, he sliced fish. But still, let's reveal him that you are the father of the child." They went with teary eyes, they fell in front of the headman and revealed that that particular boy is the father of the child. Then, whenever he heard that, tears popped out from that village headman's eyes. He started crying loudly, just like a baby. And then, with his wife and daughter and the son-in-law, they went to the temple. And with teary eyes, he knelt in front of Bhante and asked forgiveness. Then that Bhante looked once again at the crowd with a very calm eyes and told the same three words, "Is that so?" and handed over the child and the mother back to them. So that's how it is. When things come, you manage. When you have equanimity, you manage the situation with the balance of your mind. With the balance of your mind. If we have the equanimity inside us throughout our life to live with peace and happiness, it helps us a lot. It's better to develop a balance of mind. With another small story, I will finish today's teaching. This will help you to understand equanimity further. This is a story from Sri Lanka. Previous one is from Japan. This is about Sri Lanka. One day, one Bhante was traveling, one enlightened Bhante, he was traveling through a narrow path, which was running through a paddy field. Have you seen paddy fields? So have you seen, I know for sure in Andhra Pradesh. So there are, in paddy fields, the path is very narrow, very small. Two people can hardly cross the path. One person who was in a hurry, he ran through that narrow road. He couldn't control his speed. He saw the Bhante later, but he couldn't control his speed. So he hit the Bhante accidentally. Bhante fell into the paddy field. but he couldn't stop. He didn't say sorry. He started running wherever he wanted to go. There was another person. He's a nice person. He took the Bante out, and then he helped the Bante to clean himself, and then gave water to have a bath. And at the end, he told that Bante, can you see that person? He's a very bad person, very bad person. So he not only he hit you and pushed you to the paddy field, he even didn't say sorry. Then that Bhante calmly looked at that person and told this sentence. Try to understand if you can. He did everything for himself, and you did everything for yourself. And he smiled and took his bowl and went. Can you understand what he said? Right? If you couldn't understand, think throughout tonight. Right. Right. Then please practice equanimity inside. So I hope you keep these things in mind. If you can write those things down inside a notebook or something, and practice this. It's good for you, right? All these 10 perfections. And I wish that may you be able to develop in the Dhamma path with this noble Dhamma practice. And may all of you be able to come out of all the negativities that you have. And may you be able to develop all the positivities within. And finally, may all of you be able to attain real peace, real happiness, purification of mind, Nibbana. With those thoughts, everyone, please join your palms together and concentrate. Abhivadana silisse nichang vaddha pachainu Chattaro dhamma vaddanti ayuvanno sukhang balang Ayurarogya sampatti Sagga sampatti me vache Ato nibbana sampatti Iminati samijjato. May all of you be well. May all of you be happy. May all of you be very, very peaceful. Sukhi hotu. Good night, everyone. Sadhu. Sadhu.
Sadhu. Sadhu.
Good night, Mr. Howard.
Good night to you. Thank you, Bhante.
Good night. Good night, Miss Carrie. All right. Good night, Christian.
Good night, Bhante. Thank you so much.
Good night. Good night, Miss Meena. Good night.